Hey everybody, Miss Dietrich here. We're going to take a look at question number 6, which a lot of people are getting wrong for some reason. So let's go through the whole thing. Now I want to remind you all what the order of operations are. So we usually write out our please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, and we write it in this hopscotch format because that way you won't think that you're supposed to multiply before you divide. You're not thinking that you're supposed to add before you subtract. If you're faced with either one of these two, you do whatever comes first from left to right. Likewise for add and subtract. All right, so remember the P stands for parentheses. So we have a set of parentheses right here. I'm going to highlight them in red, which means we have to do the stuff in the parentheses first. So we have to ask ourselves, what's 12 minus 8? And hopefully we would get 4. And we have to write everything that's left. So what's left? We're going to be cubing that. We have a subtract. We have 24. And then we have the times 2. All right, let's look at what's next. So we just did the stuff in the parentheses. Now we're going to move on to exponents. So that means we have to do this next. We have to think that what's 4 cubed, what does that really mean? Because it's not 12, and I think that's the problem that people are having is they're putting a 12 down. So I'm going to over here off to the side. Let's rethink that as repeated multiplication so we can get the right answer. So 4 cubed means 4 times 4 times 4, not 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is what people are thinking. So if we chunk this up, here we get 16. And we still have to find what 16 times 4 is. So let's do that off to the side. Here we get the 24. 4 times 1 is 4, and the 2 more makes 64. All right, so 4 cubed is equal to 64. Now let's write everything that's left, which is minus 24 times 2. All right, so what's next? Because we have two things going on here. We can either look at this, or we can look at this. So how do you know what to do first, the subtraction or the multiplication? Let's go back to our checkoff list. We're done with exponents, so we're moving on to multiply or divide. So since we have subtraction and multiplication, we always multiply before we subtract. So we're going to do this next. Let's off to the side, find what 24 times 2 is. Here we get the 8. Here we get the 4. All right, so this times this is 48. All right, so the only thing left to do is to bring down the 64 and the minus so that you just have to subtract these two numbers from each other. So let me get that set up. We're doing 64 minus 48. Finish that up, and whatever you get, that's going to be your final answer. And put that on the answer space. All right, good luck finishing that up.